I told everybody. What am I talking about? Stay tuned, you'll see. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Glad you could make it. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank each and every one of you for coming. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope you find something you like and want to stick around. Now, as far as what is going on, what did I tell you guys about? Well, first, let's start at the very, very beginning. The very beginning, the good old West days. Yes, horsepower. 1 horsepower per person. That's all you was allowed. Yep. Believe it or not, 1 horsepower. Can you imagine those days? But the torque on those beasts were something else. Then modern technology came along, and it actually evolved because they needed it. So what am I talking about there, you may be asking? The wagon. 2-wheel wagons, 4-wheel wagons. And then later on, I've seen pictures of 6-wheel wagons for hauling goods from one part of the country to the other, from town to the homestead, from one work site to the next work site, you name it, that's where it went. And of course you had the stagecoach, which sometimes was drawn by 2 horses, 4 horses, 6 horses, and I've even seen 8-horse teams. And as money and wealth became prevalent in the United States and elsewhere in the world as far as that goes, you had the wealthy wanting to travel also, so they had their fine ornate coaches themselves. Some call them buck coaches, some of them just called coaches, just carriages, you name it, it's been called it. From there we went to the gasoline engine, not because of Henry Ford as you might think. Now, Henry Ford didn't develop or invent the gas engine. Yeah, that was developed and invented long before Henry Ford ever thought about it. But with that said, Henry Ford, or the Ford Motor Company, made the combustion engine and the car affordable and available to the masses, which created the whole lifestyle that we live in now. You know, our cars are part of who we are. Some of us just want them from point A to point B, you know. Just buy it, drive it, change oil, put brakes on it, and you're done. Some of us, like me, want something a little bit more personal. So we get them, we put our own taste into it, the stereos, you know, everything from the stereo system to the stripes that we put on them, to the spoilers we put on them, tires, wheels, paint, you name it. And that is where so many YouTube channels originate from. The love of the car, so they want to show how to do, you know, how to put this spoiler on, or put that camshaft in, or how to detail it with this product, or look how good this wax out works, you know, stuff like that. The actual point of this video, I told everybody, and again we're going to back up just a hair, I told everybody in a video before, when they moved Al Oppenheiser away from the Camaro team and they stopped production on the 6th gen Z28, and they basically halted all production or even development of the 7th gen until further notice. I predicted and started telling everybody then, you know, electricity. No, we're not talking about your power bill. We're not talking about what keeps the lights on in your house and everything. We are talking about straight up electric cars. And I told everybody when Al Oppenheiser moved and some of his team was moved and everything, that the next gen, I predicted the next gen Camaro, if not at least a minimum hybrid car, would come out. An all electric model would soon follow. And what came up, I mean, literally a couple months after I said that? The E-Copo Camaro. Now, the Copo Camaro came out back in the 60s, and it was built to do one thing: go fast in a straight line. And ever since then, it has been doing so. And I mean, it's developed from a street car with race technology, like the aluminum 427 engine in it, and head in it and everything, all the way up to a straight out race car, which is what the Copo Camaro is now. It's just a straight out race car. You'd have to do a lot of work to make this thing where it's street legal. But that's where we are now. And where we are now with the Copo today, a couple months after I released that video saying that I predicted it, you know, they were going electric or at least hybrid, the video came out of an electric Copo Camaro. Yes, an electric Copo Camaro. Now, this Copo Camaro does not belong to Chevrolet per se. It was developed for Chevrolet. And it's actually up for sale if you're interested in buying it, at last I heard. And it was rated at 700 horsepower. It was predicted to do in the high 9s. The one video that I've seen, and there's many more out there, I think it has made it since then. But the one video I saw, it was 10.1 in a quarter mile. It didn't make the high 9s like it said, but I mean, we're only talking a tenth of a second. That's a air pressure change, you know. But yeah, you're sitting here, it's pulling wheelies as it takes off. You could barely hear it, you know. It's just such a weird feeling to see a Camaro, something that I really like, be so quiet, but yet pull the wheels and just take off down the drag strip like crazy. Because, you know, electric cars are all instant torque. As soon as you get on that pedal, it's gone. It's all there. If it says it's got 1,000 horsepower, if you want it, you press it, it's got 1,000 horsepower instantly. No spooling up like turbos, no lag. Now, Chevrolet and GM is not the first one to come out with the electric car. No, not even close. And they're not the first ones to try to make them popular or mainstream. Tesla is owed that part. They have taken the electric car and made it mainstream, if you will. A lot of them are being sold. They've done all the R&D, so people are following suit with some of their engineering and stuff, reverse engineering it to fit their own needs. And this is where I'm going with the electric part. I mentioned in that video where I was talking about the Camaro going electric that they had applied for a patent for a new battery storage system and a new high output electric motors and charging system. So they applied for patents for all that. Not through GM or Chevy direct, but through their subsidiaries. So if you follow the money, you can see where this is going. Now, you know, with this car being rated at 700 horsepower, well, you know these car companies never tell you the truth. But it's supposed to be rated at 700 horsepower, and I forgot the torque, which really isn't important. It's going to be somewhere around 900 to 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, or at least around the 8 to 900. But forgive me, I didn't look it up, so the number just escapes me. All I remember is the 700 horsepower. But that's what it's rated at, and to run a 9-second in that car, and that car is still heavy. They didn't give the weight rating or anything, but it's still a heavy car. It's pretty impressive. Even a 10 is very impressive for that heavy car with the electric motors. And I told everybody in that video also that they were already testing an electric Corvette, they were already testing electric Mustangs, and people just went crazy when I told them that. Oh, I'll never own an electric Mustang, they'll never do it, Corvette will never be electric, yada yada yada. Cricket sounds, insert here please. Well, here you go. Just the other day, Ford released their own video. Yes, they have an electric drag car themselves. A 1,400 horsepower electric Mustang, well, a 1,400 horsepower electric Cobra Jet Mustang. What do you guys think now? All you Mustang fanboys out there, what do you think? I'm not knocking you, because you know there's a lot of Chevy fanboys out there too, and we are all the same. Well, most of us, for the big part, do not want anything to do with an electric motor, but I do see the need for it. I really do, especially in heavily populated areas. But they're saying that this joker is rated at 1,400 horsepower, 1,100 foot-pounds of torque, and it's only going to be capable of a low 9-second time. Now, I'm like Forrest Gump. I'm not good at math, but I know what don't add up. If the Camaro at 700 horsepower runs a 10-1, like I said in the video, with 700 horsepower, and you got a Mustang that's got 1,400 horsepower running a low 9, something ain't adding up. I smell something fishy. And when I smell something fishy, ladies and gentlemen, either I didn't take a bath or something's fishy. I took a bath. But it's a cool looking car. I gotta give them credit for that. It's a cool looking car. I know a lot of testing and technology went into it and everything. You know, or is it going to be available for you and I to purchase? Is it going to be? There's so much that's not known about this car right now. They just released it. And you know how Ford and all these major manufacturers do with social media? They like to tease, and tease a lot. In fact, they tease so much they should have been in a totally different industry, if you know what I mean. Now, they've ran it on the track, but they haven't released any official data, no official times, no official miles per hour there. They said they're hoping to be in the low 9s at 172 mile an hour. That math don't add up either. But anyhow, that's a whole different story. It's amazing how technology's come and how fast it's come. But I just wanted to bring this video out there so you could see that I'm not just blowing smoke out of a peace pipe. That the electric technology is there. It's developing every day by leaps and bounds. And all the car manufacturers, like it or not, have said they want their vehicles to be electric. Now, I'm not going to get on the whole bandwagon about this is more environmentally sound or that's more environmentally sound, because you know how technology has to start somewhere and then evolve. It gets better, more efficient, yada yada yada. And there's actually a great video out there, so I don't need to give you all the information. I'll just give you the link, and I hope that you go watch the video, because this is one of the best, most thought out videos I've seen. It's by a YouTube channel called Donut Media. These guys are hilarious at some of the stuff they do, but they also do some serious content. And in this particular video, they describe the differences between electric production versus combustion production. And I'm just going to give you the lowdown in case you don't want to check it. But basically, the mining of the stuff that it takes to make these batteries, the lithium, is very toxic. It is not a great job. And in some cases they use child labor to do some of the mining on some of this stuff, and it's just not good overall. And yes, the cost is more, they produce more CO2 in the production of the batteries and the car overall. So in the very beginning stage of the car, yes, it costs, CO2 pollution and everything is so much higher than the combustion engine. But after the batteries are produced, and we're not even talking about disposing of the batteries, but after the batteries are made and after the car is made, the combustion engine is a lot more environmentally unsound, because then it starts polluting more than the electric car. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, because you got the production of the gas, the manufacturing of the gas, you know, or petroleum, all that stuff, the pollutants that come out of the actual cars and stuff as they run, as they sit in traffic, as they sit in drive-thrus. So, you know, I'm gonna put the link down in the description, so please go check out that video and you'll learn a lot. It's very, very interesting. And there you have it. I told you the electric Camaro is coming. Well, they still haven't announced that it is, but it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. They came out with the electric Copo, and now Ford has followed suit with their electric Mustang. Now, these are drag cars. They're drag car specific. They're not made for the roads. I know. But if you know anything about racing, right? Win on Sunday always sells on Monday. If they see this guy winning with this car on Sunday, then Monday they're out looking for it. That used to be really, really true for NASCAR. It used to be their main selling point. But none of the cars that you see on NASCAR now are like any of the cars that you buy on the lot. All it is a fiberglass panel. That's all it is. But with all that said, I'm going to quit yapping now. I'm going to get off here. I got to, if it doesn't rain, I'm going to work on the chicken coop some more, and we'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know the old routine. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Get out there and enjoy your cars, even if it's looking at them on YouTube like I'm doing today. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.